Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another uh, semifinals edition of Playoff Profiles. Again, Big Black Rainbows. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Glance, the mid laner from Pawn Sacrifice Black, and Sheer fucking Will, top laner for Pawn Sacrifice Black. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good,
Doing
doing
really
good.
good. Happy to be
Wonderful.
here.
Absolutely. So am I. So obviously, first things first, with your long-lasting legacy so far as the Pawn Sacrifice org, it'll be a little weird for you guys not to make playoffs. So, as usual, congratulations on that. With that being said now, did any of you guys watch the quarterfinals match Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it was?
Real quick, we had a scrim going on, so
A little bit.
right, a little bit, just here and there. We saw a certain someone losing, and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
All
We
right.
had some screenshots ready for him.
Ah, okay. Well, based off what you guys did see, did you have or do you have any thoughts based off of the game, and are you guys surprised that Genesis actually made it to the next round?
I mean, I
A
think
little
we
bit.
all are, but
True.
yeah, honestly, I would say even Genesis themselves are at some like just a little bit at least. Uh, but in retrospective, I kind of see why Exodia lost. Their best player was Exonunu, and he was not there. That's a big key. And also, Genesis came together later on in the season, and they had to fight the strongest teams, which is not no, it's not a good. It doesn't represent them as well as if they were fighting equal level teams. That's how I see it. But they're gonna I think they're gonna keep improving, and hopefully they give us a good show versus Have Fate.
Very true.
As
Glance.
for
Oh, go ahead,
sorry,
Sheer.
as for IBSG though, that was a good show
Ah,
as well.
that was
It's a
that
good
was a
a lot of good memes, a lot of good memes came out.
yes. There was some fantastic meme. Shout out to True for his meme quality and 7-Eleven for those. But Glance, do you have any initial thoughts or any reaction in general to that quarterfinals match?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised because I feel like Exodia is like really the only team that's like been hard for us to play against this season. So like I thought they were like actually pretty good. So seeing them lose to Genesis is kind of weird, but I'll take it. That means that less competition for us, so I don't mind.
Yeah, in some eyes, obviously it is less competition because the next series is kind of expected to go one way, obviously. Um, but let's start from the top, right? Obviously, you guys as an organization have been around for what, like 4 or 5 seasons now, maybe a little bit longer. Um, and you guys have had a very high or not repetition, reputation as an org, consistently making playoffs, even in IBSG, and even winning some championships in duo. So, Sheer, specifically for you, take me back to when Pawn Sacrifice was founded, for lack of a better word, right? Were you guys just a bunch of friends that were like, "Hey, let's do this competitively," or how'd this all get started?
So my debut was with AOL back in season 4 of IBSG, and that's where I met Omari. He was my support the whole season. We did pretty well, ending up first seed, but then we lost to a team called ARA. Uh, it's not official, but we think there was a account sharing person, whatever. So we got no. Anyways, long story short, we lost semifinals, and then AOL kind of disbanded. Omari and I wanted to join a team, and nobody really wanted to pick us up. So we just if nobody's picking us up, we'll just do our own team. And that's where I met. That's where I recruited Shrimp Tempura. He was just posting in team recruitment, so like whatever, I'll take him up. And that's pretty much where we started. And also, there was this really good mid laner in a team called EGA that wasn't playing because his apparently his schedule was not really good. And Shino was like, "No, I want someone to be like present to do some scrims. So we can't really play with you." So I picked him up, and I mean, the rest is history. He's the greatest player of all time in duo, and there you go.
Yeah, definitely greatest player. Shino mentioned during 1 week of visual stats, he has like a 89% win rate or something like that in
90,
duo.
91.
91.
Yes,
Yep,
91.
there
Yeah.
you go. Absolutely outstanding. Um, and then for you, Glance, I don't personally know when you joined Pawn Sacrifice, but what was it like when you first joined? When you showed your face and started playing with the guys?
Um, well, I started on my own team, KFC, way back in the day. Back when Sheer made his debut, I was playing on KFC, so I kind of knew him back then. And pretty much after that season, we kind of sucked. We had like no structure. I was kind of doing everything, and basically, I'm pretty busy in real life, so I was like, I can't keep doing this. I don't really want to, play anymore. But I had a lot of fun competing and stuff. So long story short, since I had like kind of met Sheer and all of them back then, anyways, they kind of picked me up as a sub the season after, and then from there I've just kind of been lurking in the shadows as like a sub for a long time, and then whenever they need me, I kind of come out of the shadows and actually play. So it's been a fun ride. I've seen like the ups and downs, and it's been good. It's been good.
That's great to hear. It's always nice to see, you know, uh, take this with a grain of salt, but new players hovering around and whatnot, right? Um, and with Pawn Sacrifice now absorbing, so to speak, the old remnants of Rift Warriors Arc-Knights, Sheer, specifically for you, what's it like being around that new group of guys who aren't maybe as serious as the rest of the Pawn Sacrifice teams, but still put in quality work?
I mean, at our core, we were not a serious org. We just wanted to have for fun. And I mean, the testament of that is that season 5, season 6, we scrimmed a total like 8 times. Most of them was like for playoffs. As for at the very least for Pawn Sacrifice Black Core. So them joining us is really not out of character. And also, I just want to correct you. It's not really absorbing them. It's more like of a partnership where they had players, we had the other players, and so we like just joined together. So I provide the structure of Pawn Sacrifice, and they provide themselves, right? In the end, Saint Malay is still the one deciding everything. Like I'm only helping him. They may be playing under the Pawn Sacrifice name, but they're still at the core Arc Knights, and it's their team. And I'm glad they're doing well. I'm glad our players, but when I say our players, like the Pawn Sacrifice players, Spike, Timon, joining them, helping them, are enjoying themselves. They like their environment, and I mean they'll talk to you eventually, right?
Yeah, actually, I just did them last night,
Oh,
and
nice.
and they had nothing but high praise for you guys, especially with the uh, for lack of a better term, coaching and support
Mm.
that you and Curry give them. They thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah. Um. So outside of that, obviously you guys are involved quite a lot in League, right? But outside of League, is there any other games that you guys play together or take, that or take the other games as competitive as League and play in other leagues or whatnot?
Go ahead, Glance.
You mean, well, I played Valorant for a while, and also TFT, but recently, I've just been kind of grinding League. Um, we did have our ARAM team, but that's still technically League.
Yeah, a bit. No, I'm thinking we're mostly grounded around League. Uh, there's no. Personally, I don't really have time for anything else. School, work, League. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Would like to like expand a bit more. Like for sometimes we had some Smash Ultimates a
Oh,
bit. Yeah. That was fun, but people don't have time anymore. So
very true. Yeah, I know firsthand how time-consuming school can be. So, congratulations on doing well in school and making time for that. Absolutely. So obviously, it wouldn't be a playoff interview if we don't talk about playoffs. So let's dive right into it. Right? You guys got to see the first match. It was a banger, but between the Genesis and Exodia in GP. And Genesis moving on. So uh, Half Faith is a much stronger team. They've proved that several times throughout the regular season, only dropping I want to say like 2 or 3 games, maybe the whole entire season. Um, where do you guys see that match specifically going? Do you think it's going to be a one-way stomp? Do you think it's going to be a little bit closer than what people expect? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, I'll go with experience. Okay, so if I go for last season, I think Half Fate should have been the team in finals, facing Ice Purple, but they kind of choked a bit. Game one should have been won, but the top laner misplayed it. I remember that. I don't know if you remember, but he went for a backdoor and he misplayed it by taking aggro of the turrets twice, flashing away, so he couldn't flash the last auto attacks to kill the Nexus. So that would have been game one. They won game two, so that would have been the series. So they choked that. I don't remember quite game three, but yeah, I think Half Age should have been the final team. No disrespect to Oblivion, they did their job. They won. I mean, we all win out of luck for a bit. Sometimes that's all you need to win. Uh, but yeah, so I already had them highly praised last season, especially after their six out of seven wins in the last stretch of the season. So coming in this season, they came in swinging, and they're doing really well. So I don't see. I mean, Genesis surprised us once, so it would be too far fetched to say they will surprise us a second time.
Very true.
But this is a different story. This is Half Fate. They're full roster. The same 5 man the whole season. It's not one man show like Exo Nunu. So yeah, I mean, good luck to them, but unfortunate, I would say.
Very true. What are your thoughts, Glance?
Um, I mean, I just think they're the better team, so I think Half Faith should win that pretty convincingly. I want to believe in the hype, the Genesis hype, but just from what I've seen, I just feel like Half Faith is just better right now. So for me, I think they're gonna take it pretty convincingly and then see us in the finals.
All right.
I'd say beside the player gap, let's take that aside, and there's also a champ pool gap where we Genesis take if you think about it, 7-Eleven is a pretty new top laner. He won't have a massive pool. You can probably restrict him to tanks, and there you go. They're not super strong in the meta right now. And J Boogie just get rid of Tristana, and what does he do? You know, that's what I would say.
Excuse me.
Like that's as far as I saw for him. Maybe he has some secret picks. That is not Fiora top switching.
Very true.
But yeah,
I kind of lean the same way. Obviously I'd like to see my guys succeed, but with no disrespect, there is a very clear gap, and as much as, like you said, Sheer, I'd like to see them win. Half Faith is definitely a much better team, and it has shown time and time again over the regular season. That's for sure. So besides yourselves, you have Faith, Team Ambition, Soul, and Genesis. Out of those three teams, which one are you guys maybe fearing the most, or planning the most for going forward?
Um, Honestly, it's probably between Team Ambition and Have Faith. Because I don't know, usually Team Ambition, like we usually end up beating them in like playoff series, but like it's usually like pretty hard, like because they play like very chaotic and especially if Zui's playing. I don't know if that's confirmed or not yet, but playing against him, he kind of just whips out random picks out of nowhere and starts doing crazy things, and I have to like really control him if we're gonna win. So honestly, I might even lean as far to say as we probably prep more and worry more for Team Ambition, even though I think Have Faith is better than them. I think they're just like kind of hard to prep for because they can pull out like a bunch of random shit.
Very true. What do you think, Sheer?
I mean, the easy answer would be have faith. but I'll probably say Team Ambition as well, just out of respect. They're a great group. I like how Glenn says we usually beat them in playoffs when we only face them once, right? It was a hard-earned victory as well. But I think our group is much stronger than PSP. No disrespect. It might be a bit easier. That's what my perspective of it is, but you never know. Team Ambition has been quote unquote trolling the whole season. They've been having not trolling. They went for fun. Villain said he spent the roulette. Played 12 different champions because they only played 12 games. So they're probably much more serious now because they want the dub, right?
Right.
So yeah, no, like we know Half is gonna be solid. They're gonna have a good solid draft, and they're just gonna play. Team Ambition, they're a wild card for me.
Ignite abusers.
Kind of user.
So I want to ask another question about Team Ambition. So way back in week 1 when they first announced that they're going to be playing in the league, right? It looked at the very beginning like they had a stacked roster, right? They had Villain, Daddy Zillion, Zooey, and based off those 3 players alone, right? That's usually a pretty well-established team, has been relatively consistent over the years, right? And they may have been trolling or maybe playing for fun, right? But their regular season showing wasn't as powerful as what a lot of people expected. So obviously, like you said, Sheer, they want the dub, they want the championship, especially for Villain. But do you think the regular season was a fair showing of what that team is capable of, or do you guys think that they are still uh, or they were rather holding back some stuff and gonna surprise us in playoffs?
I mean, they did say they were like doing roulette and stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's a fair assumption to say that they are hiding something. Not hiding, but like not showing, the right comps and stuff. But I'd say by experience, when my team itself tried to like go for fun in season 7, it's pretty hard because at some point you just losing is not fun.
Very true. Yep.
So you just go back to the roots and try to win. So maybe it's the same for them, maybe not. So when you said they announced coming back, yeah, it's a solid roster. Like no disrespect to them, but I see them as A tier players. There isn't an S tier. Like Zooey might be close to it, but I think Glance, for example, Glance would be an S tier player. Okay, if you put TK in the equation, that's another. There should be another tier over it.
Yeah,
But
he's like S plus, so to speak.
oh, whatever letter you want. But no, like they're solid players, but they haven't shown why they should be considered superstars.
Oh,
That's how I see it.
okay. Interesting.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts, Glance?
I kind of agree. I would say though that I'm pretty sure like they haven't been playing with Zooey for a lot of the season. They've been using like all these different weird rosters. And in my opinion, I don't know if it's just because I play mid, so I like have to face him, but like when he's in the game, like he like warps that team, like he can just like create plays out of nowhere and like I remember the last playoff series, he was being an Ignite abuser mid, classic, but he like I can't remember the matchup, but out of nowhere, like usually most mids just like kind of sit there and farm, just out of nowhere, level 2, he's like tower diving me with Ignite, he almost killed me. And it's like, he's like he doesn't hold back, he really does a bunch
It's a
of
mad
crazy
dog.
shit. So I think if he's playing for playoffs and they actually use that roster, I feel like they can be a lot more explosive than they were in the regular season.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
we haven't seen much of IDEO actually. You say Zooey hasn't been playing. He hasn't been playing a lot. He's just never been the quote unquote starter officially.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
I'm pretty confident he will play this season. This playoffs. They're just not telling us. They're doing like a PSP last season, not telling people that Glenn's gonna play.
Very true. Yeah. Um, so with that being said, you guys were, and sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you guys were the second seed, correct?
Yes, we are.
All right. So, when you guys first joined, week one, granted, you guys may have been playing for fun, but is that kind of where you guys expected to finish, or were you kind of still looking for that first seed history that you guys have established for, God knows how long it's been now?
I mean, it's always been first seed or always aim for the best, right?
True, very true.
Having a perfect season that would have been nice. Thank you, BBR, by the way. Remember season 6?
Oh wait, okay, yeah. Okay. That took me a minute. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. But no, no, I'm glad of the state of the, competitive duo. Like every team can beat any other team, maybe except have Fate. Like only they only have two losses, right? I think
Yeah, I think it was two
one to
losses.
us and one to some dumb team. I think. Nah, whatever.
What about you, Lance? Were you happy with the results, or like what you said, are you always aiming to be the best?
Um, I mean, honestly, coming in, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't even know like what our roster was at first, and I was like not even playing at the start of the season because I was like really busy. So, I was just hoping we make playoffs because, in my opinion, like once you get to playoffs, like we can always make a run. And I wasn't really sure how crazy the competition is. Compared to like the last time I started, I feel like the competition's a little bit easier now. So I feel like that's also a thing. Because last time I played, there were actually like teams that were like really really hard to beat. But I feel like now even the good teams, like if you get a good draft, if you like punish their like over aggressiveness or like some of their mistakes, everyone's pretty beatable. It's like a lot of parity. So for me, I didn't know what to expect coming in, but I was just hoping as long as we can get the playoffs, I know we can make the run because that's where we thrive. So
That is very true. There is, historically, there's been a very um uh different atmosphere, so to speak, where regular season PSB, they may drop a game, if that, right? And then playoff Pawn Sacrificers is so much different, where you think the series is going to be close and they just 2-0 or 3-0, and you're like, damn, that's a good ass team right
Oh,
there.
yeah, I remember the Solar Phoenix clap. That was.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
You're right. The one where you guys had no kills. That was
Yeah, that
that was
was
great.
that was a game. Anyway,
Here, now that I can interview you real quick. What was your reaction to that?
to the game or the series?
Both. Let's start.
So,
Okay, let's start. Okay, so everybody's hyped. This is going to be the the true finals, and first game happens.
first game happens. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried because I
A
thought
little.
yeah, so I was a little worried, and the reason for that is because I thought our regular season was quite good. Yes, we may have dropped a stupid game. I think it was towards the end of the season, and
Hmm.
and I was like, it's just one game, right? You guys were a very, very good team, but I still had full confidence that we could at least pull a game from you guys. And then when the next game started, and it was like, I think it was 6 or 7 minutes in, and we were down 5 kills or something like that, I was like, well, fuck. Um, and of course, to any of the former Solar Phoenix players, Natsu specifically, if you guys watch this, no disrespect to you guys, you were still a fantastic team. Um, when we went killless in that game, I was like, God damn, we just got fucking embarrassed. Um, and my immediate reaction after that game was just like, it wasn't like upset, it wasn't mad or anything. I was just thoroughly surprised at how much or how different you guys changed between regular season where a game could be close, you could win off. I think one game you guys won off a base race or something like that.
Maybe.
And and then just the level of play and how it escalated with you guys in playoffs, I was like, wow.
You were in awe.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And also we also had to kill this second game as well. Almost.
yeah, it
Pretty
was
close.
it was definitely an eye opener for me because that was like I think it was my first or second season maybe in duo, and
That was
everyone
first.
yeah, so everyone was always hype or not hyping me up, but like telling me of how good you guys were as a team. But that's when I experienced firsthand just like how good you guys were as a team.
Hmm.
That was definitely a thing. I'm a little disappointed nowadays looking back on it that it wasn't as hyped up as it could have been, right? And
Hmm.
be that banger of a series, but yeah, I was definitely in awe, that's for sure.
All right, nice.
So,
Back to
uh,
the present.
yeah, back to the present now. um, with you guys playing against Team Ambition, obviously, Glance, you've mentioned a couple times about Zooey and his potential surge that he can give to Team Ambition, right? But as a whole, what are your guys' players to watch for both of the teams this week?
You want to go?
I mean, let's name different players, but
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking, based on everything I'd said, I'd already say Zooey, but just to like mix it up, I honestly think the player to watch would be Villain because I feel like he kind of makes or breaks that team. Like if he's playing well, he can like carry them pretty hard, but if he's like having a bad game, he gets tilted, he like dies early, like he can like totally just like run it in a series. I feel like he's like a pretty emotional player, so I feel like depending on like how things go for him in the lanes, he could like tilt pretty easily, or he could like end up like carrying some games they shouldn't win. So I think he's one to watch for sure.
Okay.
I mean, we already know like Villain, Zillion. That's a solid duo. We know Zooey. He can be a hard carry, but he could also just be a passive wave clearing Victor player, whatever. Uh, but Villain, the team can lose by Villain. Um, I'm not quite sure they can win by him as well. Like,
Oh,
let me explain. Yeah, he gets ahead, but is he the only player ahead in this team?
Ah, okay.
You see, like I feel like he gets ahead because his team is ahead, and that's fair. Like that's usually how games go. Is you're ahead because your team is ahead, right? Uh, so yeah, I think he has the potential to do it, but more often than not, he ins and then his team lose. So my for me, player to watch would be the newcomer Lawrence and
Ah.
Nubili, right? Because Nubili has been, no, I mean I think he's been a solid jungle.
Mhm.
So if he does his job right, if he camps the right lanes, he could probably snowball. And Lawrence, he comes from the IBSG team, so like I want to see how he stacks up. Can he hold his own? Can he not like give a lead and then his team is in like, big trouble? Because as I said, if the other side doesn't get ahead, it's gonna be really hard. So yeah, that's for me. These are the players to watch, not because they're superstar, but because they are underdogs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you threw in Lawrence because you know, he was obviously a menace in IBSG, probably the best top laner, or maybe best player, depending on how you look at him in IBSG. But now that he's in GP, there's that level of uncertainty, so to speak, with him. That's for sure. Glance, do you have any opinions about Lawrence and his promotion, so to speak?
uh, I mean, no disrespect by this, but I honestly just don't know who that is.
Okay, that's
So,
fair.
yeah, I mean,
That's fair.
based on what you're saying, like it sounds like he probably like earned it and he's like proven himself and stuff. But yeah, I honestly don't really know much about him, so I guess good luck to him.
All right. Uh, so the last question I have for you guys, so to speak, about the series going forward is Sinning. So Sinning
Hmm.
last season was a tear in IBSG again, and he may have been the best performing jungler. I honestly don't quite remember offhand. Um,
He had the best. I think was it KDA or kill participation. Yeah, he has the best KP the whole season.
yeah, okay,
That
there you
was
go.
insane.
Yep. So with his adjustment to GP this season, how's he been doing with
Mhm.
you guys? Like, how does he feel being in the different league?
He's been doing fantastic. Like, um, I think if he had joined us last season, he would have been the best jungler anyways. He literally was the sitting on ward team. So when they dropped him, that was hilarious to me, and that was like cash money for me because I just picked him up. He was normally going to play for PS Arc Knight, but he promoted to plat, so we moved it up. And then I'm a really loyal person, so if, for example, Corny was a starter, I'm like, okay, you'll be the starter until you don't want to. And Corny himself decided to step down, and therefore Sinning had the chance.
Okay, Glance, what do you think of him and how he's been playing with you guys?
Um, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, he's been playing well, obviously, which you guys can see, but he just has like a very infectious like energy. Like he's very Chad jungler. He likes to say what he wants to do, and he likes
Yeah.
to go do it. And I like being able to like play aggressive with him and like make plays and stuff. But also not to be understated is our since Omari stepped down for us, our
He was
little
made to step down. Actually, let me say
well,
that.
yeah,
Thank you, Dio.
he was forced to step down.
Oh yeah,
Our little
Parmy is low key. He's low key smurfing, man. He's so good.
our hidden support talent. I think our support jungle synergy is pretty good. They both
Mhm.
play off each other and they play really aggressive and they like catching people out and we just joke around all the time and have the synergy. So watch out for Parmy. He's a hidden OP.
Nice, nice.
I
Yeah.
I was I honestly wasn't expecting him to be that good when you told him to join the Glance.
He's a
'Cause
former KFC player.
yeah,
Ah, okay. A little bit of old roots there coming back, so to speak. Um, so overall question for you guys, if you had to exclude yourself from the conversation for a second between,
mhm.
Have Faith, Genesis, and Team Ambition, who do you think wins finals if it's, let's assume it's Have Faith versus Team Ambition. Who do you think wins that?
I
Mm,
mean, if Team Ambition beats us, I think it's fair to give them a fair shot at beating Have Fate. I don't know. It's a coin flip at that point.
Okay. Are you kind of in the same boat, so to speak, Lance?
sort of, but like, well, I don't know. I feel like on paper, Have Faith would win that, but like in the actual game, like the players on Team Ambition have like so much experience, and, like with so many playoff series and so much history, and they kind of like do the unexpected when like you're not expecting it. I'm pretty sure they actually beat Have Faith in the regular season this year. I think that might have been the other team that did it. I don't remember for sure. But
I'm
I
pretty
feel
sure
like
actually.
they're the type of team that in like when the pressure's on in the playoffs, they can like kind of just pull something out that's really unexpected. So I could see them taking it over Have Faith. But I think they're not going to be able to get there. But
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
Yeah. So then I expect in your guys' minds that after the series you guys are probably going to win finals in your eyes, so to speak.
Hope so.
That's fair.
You're right. Glance Team Ambition was the other team that beat Have Fate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys. Do you have any last words, shout outs, or any, flame you want to fuel the fire with by chance?
Hmm. Flaming. No, I think it's gonna be a good semifinals. I'm happy to see the competition like being so close. I can say, and IBSG as well. Like it's gonna be two very close semifinals as well.
Yes. Very, very true.
I mean, if EH can lose to Genesis Academy, no shades, but they can lose to anybody, y'all. It's
Yeah, I mean, they lost to me juggling, so I mean that's all I'm gonna say.
I
That's
mean,
not.
kudos to you. You called it in their interview, although we saw it after. But you said, "Oh, I think it's gonna be 2-1
Yeah,
EH." But
Hey, I have a
thank you,
galaxy
BP,
brain,
right?
bro. Yeah, shout out to BP. Goddamn, that was intense.
uh,
Do
I don't
you
know.
have
What about
any?
you, Glass?
Yeah, do you have any
You have
last
some
words?
big dick energy to give off.
To Zui, don't take Ignite. But if if it comes down to it, I might take Ignite. So
Ooh,
might get
ooh.
spicy. Watch out.
Yo, first blood at 2 minutes. Let's do it.
It's coming.
All right. Uh,
Oh,
go ahead.
no, nothing. It's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Well, thank you guys both for joining me. I thoroughly appreciate it, and it's always fun to see long-lasting faces around here and giving their opinions and whatnot. Um, so again, this has been Glance and Sheer Fucking Will, the mid and top respectively for Pawn Sacrifice Black. Good luck in your guys' play, or not play. Wow, good luck in your guys' game. Whenever it is, I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday. Um, but this has been the semifinals edition of Playoff Profiles with Pawn Sacrifice Black. I'll see you guys next time.
Take care.